If you are still spending hours tweaking prompts, hoping your AI image generator won't spit out a mutated, unusable mess with 6 fingers and melting backgrounds, you are bleeding money and you are losing to your competitors. Period. The era of guess and check AI is dead. Today, we are tearing the wrapping paper off a complete paradigm shift in generative AI. We're launching Nano Banana 2, built on the absolute bleeding-edge Gemini Flash model. This isn't just an update. This is state-of-the-art for creating and editing images, combining pro-level capabilities with lightning-fast speed. If you are a freelancer, a content creator, or a professional trying to scale your output, what I am about to show you will become your unfair advantage. But listen closely. I'm going to break down 7 distinct ways Nano Banana 2 will revolutionize your workflow. However, there is one specific capability, a feature so advanced it fundamentally changes how AI understands reality itself, that I am saving for the very end. I call it concept number 7, and it will entirely rewire how you think about content creation. The roadmap. Before we dive in, here is exactly what we are covering so you know exactly what high-value information is coming up. Grab a notepad. Let's get to work. Concept 1. The Pro Speed Engine. The problem. For the last 2 years, the AI industry has forced you into a frustrating compromise. If you wanted high-quality, pro-level rendering, you had to wait minutes for a single image to process. If you wanted speed, you got low-resolution, generic trash. You had to choose between your time and your quality. The AI solution. Nano Banana 2 shatters this compromise. Built on the Gemini Flash model, it delivers the pro-level capabilities of a massive, heavy-duty model, but with lightning-fast, near-instantaneous generation speed. Step-by-step use case. Imagine you are a freelance designer on a Zoom call with a difficult client. They want a mood board for a cyberpunk coffee brand, but they keep changing their mind. Instead of saying, "I'll email you mock-ups tomorrow," you simply type, "A hyper-realistic cinematic shot of a neon-lit espresso machine pouring glowing blue coffee into a matte black cup." Hit generate. Within seconds, while still on the call, you present them with a flawless commercial-grade asset. You iterate live. You close the deal on the spot. The surprise or secret. Because of the Flash architecture, Nano Banana 2 doesn't just generate fast, it edits fast. You can use its intuitive editing interface to highlight a specific section, like changing the cup from black to chrome, and the system re-renders that specific detail in milliseconds without altering the rest of the image. Concept 2. The Nuance Matrix. The problem. We've all been there. You write a beautifully detailed, paragraph-long prompt describing exactly what you want. You hit generate, and the AI completely ignores half of your instructions. It misses the vibe, it forgets objects, and it fails to grasp the relationship between elements. The AI solution. Enhanced reasoning. Nano Banana 2 doesn't just read words, it comprehends them. It can carry out incredibly complex requests, capturing the specific nuances of your idea, exactly as you imagined it in your head. Step-by-step use case. Let's say you are an art director creating a highly specific thumbnail for a YouTube video. You prompt, a split-screen image. On the left, a frustrated office worker in a dreary, desaturated cubicle spilling coffee on a keyboard. On the right, the exact same worker, but in a vibrant, sunlit home office, holding a glowing golden trophy with a golden retriever sleeping at his feet. Older models would mix the two sides, putting the dog in the dreary office or the coffee on the trophy. Nano Banana 2's enhanced reasoning segments the request perfectly, understanding the physical and emotional divide you asked for. The surprise or secret. It understands negative space and implied context. If you ask for a lonely silhouette at the edge of a massive canyon, it knows to scale the human down to 1% of the frame to emphasize the massive empty space around them, without you having to explicitly explain the math of the composition. But don't click away yet, because while speed and nuance are great, concept number 4 is where the real money is made. It breaks every rule of traditional digital compositing. But first, let's solve the biggest headache in AI history. Concept 3. The face lock protocol. The problem. If you run an agency, write children's books, or manage a brand, you know the absolute nightmare of character consistency. You generate a great-looking human face, but the moment you try to put that same person in a different pose or setting, they look like a completely different human being. The AI solution. Nano Banana 2 can expertly maintain the likeness of people, including faces, across multiple generations. It treats identity as a locked variable, not a random roll of the dice. Step-by-step use case. Let's say you are building a personal brand campaign for a fictional influencer. Step 1. Generate your base character. A 30-year-old woman with curly red hair, freckles, and a distinct emerald green jacket. Step 2. Lock the likeness using Nano Banana 2's interface. Step 3. Now, prompt her into new scenarios. Sitting at a Paris cafe, speaking on a brightly lit TED Talk stage, running through a rainy street. The output? The exact same face, the exact same bone structure, the exact same person, maintaining her identity seamlessly across every single frame. The surprise or secret? It doesn't just lock the face, it locks the lighting reaction on that face. If you put your locked character in a neon-lit nightclub, Nano Banana 2 accurately recalculates how those specific cheekbones and that specific skin tone would reflect magenta and cyan light. Concept 4. The 14-object spatial workflow. The problem. Traditional AI models have a severe working memory limit. Ask an AI to draw a table with a laptop, a coffee mug, a notebook, and a plant. It might get 3 out of 4. Ask it to draw 10 specific items, and it will start melting them together into unrecognizable blobs of pixels. The AI solution. Unprecedented spatial tracking. Nano Banana 2 can expertly maintain up to 14 distinct objects across different frames in a single workflow. Step-by-step use case. You are an e-commerce brand manager doing a product shoot without a camera. You set up a workflow prompt. A rustic wooden table. Item 1. A glass bottle of olive oil. Item 2. A loaf of sourdough bread. Item 3. A bowl of sea salt. Item 4. A sprig of rosemary. You can do this for up to 14 distinct items. Once the initial scene is generated, you can use the editing workflow to say, keep all objects the same, but move the rosemary to the left of the bread and change the angle to a top-down flat lay. Nano Banana 2 repositions all 14 items perfectly without losing a single one or blending their textures. The surprise or secret. You can establish object permanence. If you move the camera angle 180 degrees to the other side of the table, Nano Banana 2 knows exactly what the back of those 14 objects looks like, maintaining perfect spatial continuity. Are you starting to see the power here? You are no longer generating random pictures. You are directing a virtual reality. But what I'm about to show you next completely eliminates the need for expensive graphic designers for your corporate presentations. Concept 5. Data to visual translation. The problem. Ambitious professionals deal with data, but staring at a spreadsheet or a boring bulleted list puts your audience to sleep. Translating complex data into an engaging, beautiful infographic used to require hours of manual work in Adobe Illustrator, or hiring an expensive freelance graphic designer. The AI solution. Nano Banana 2 makes it incredibly easy to build out complex visuals. It is uniquely trained to translate your text instructions directly into data-rich infographics or educational diagrams. Step-by-step use case. You have a crucial pitch meeting in 20 minutes, and you need to explain your company's new logistics pipeline. You open Nano Banana 2 and prompt, create a modern, sleek corporate infographic. Background is dark navy blue. Show a 4-step process using minimalist glowing icons. Step 1. Raw materials. Step 2. Automated manufacturing. Step 3. Global shipping. Step 4. Customer delivery. Connect them with a glowing data line. Instantly, it generates a perfectly structured, visually balanced presentation-ready diagram. The surprise or secret. Nano Banana 2 natively understands design hierarchy. You don't need to tell it to make the title bigger or the connecting lines thinner. It applies professional graphic design principles, like the rule of thirds, golden ratio, and color theory, to your data automatically. Concept 6. Real-time web accuracy rendering. The problem. Here is the fatal flaw of almost every other AI image generator on the market. They are trapped in the past. Their training data cuts off months or years ago. If you ask them to generate an image of a product announced yesterday, or a skyline that recently changed, they will hallucinate and give you completely inaccurate garbage. The AI solution. Nano Banana 2 breaks out of the walled garden. It uses real-time information from web search to render generations more accurately. It actually looks at the world today, step-by-step use case. Let's say you are a tech reviewer on YouTube. Apple or Samsung just announced a brand new flagship phone an hour ago, with a radically new camera bump design. You need a thumbnail image now. You prompt. A photorealistic lifestyle shot of the newly announced smartphone sitting on a marble countertop. Dramatic lighting. Nano Banana 2 instantly pings its real-time web search, pulls the actual specs, colors, and design of the phone that was announced 60 minutes ago, and renders a 100% accurate photorealistic image of a device it had never seen before today. The surprise or secret. It acts as an automated fact-checker. If you ask for an image of the current CEO of a major company, and that CEO changed last week, Nano Banana 2 searches the web, verifies the current executive, and renders the correct person. It refuses to let you look uninformed. We have covered speed. We have covered nuance, consistency, object tracking, data visualization, and real-time rendering. Any one of these would be worth the price of admission. But I made a promise at the beginning of this video. I told you there was one tool that would change how you view AI forever. This is it. Concept 7. The world knowledge synthesis, the ultimate reveal. The problem. The biggest limitation of generative AI is that it is essentially a very smart parrot. It knows how to arrange pixels to look like a thing, but it doesn't actually understand what that thing is. It doesn't know physics, it doesn't know history, and it doesn't know engineering. If you ask an AI to draw the inside of a jet engine, it will draw a bunch of cool-looking metal pipes that make zero mechanical sense. It looks real, but an expert will immediately know it's fake. The AI solution. Nano Banana 2 is fundamentally different because it pulls directly from the massive Gemini model's deep world knowledge base. It marries the artistic capability of a master painter with the factual database of a PhD scholar. Step-by-step use case. You are creating an educational video on marine biology and oceanography, and you need an extremely specific, impossible-to-film visual. You prompt. An anatomically correct, highly detailed cross-section diagram of a deep-sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem. It must accurately show the geological magma chamber below, the mineral-rich black smoke expelling, and the precise biological forms of tube worms and yeti crabs interacting with the extreme heat, labelled with scientific accuracy. Older models would give you a fantasy painting of a cartoon ocean. Nano Banana 2 accesses the Gemini world knowledge base. It references actual geology. It references actual marine biology. It constructs the image based on scientific reality, ensuring the tube worms are placed at the correct thermal gradient relative to the vent. It synthesizes art and absolute truth into a single, breathtaking frame. The surprise or secret. This world knowledge integration applies to everything: historical architecture, complex physics, anatomical biology, and mechanical engineering. It means Nano Banana 2 isn't just an image generator, it is an educational engine. It allows you, as a creator, to produce authoritative, factually bulletproof visual content that elevates your brand above the sea of generic AI slop. Nano Banana 2, powered by Gemini Flash, is not just a toy. It is an enterprise-grade weapon for ambitious professionals who want to dominate their field. Here is my challenge to you. The barrier to entry for incredible content has just dropped to zero, which means the competition is about to get brutal. Your ideas are no longer limited by your budget or your technical skills. They are only limited by your imagination and your willingness to adapt. Are you going to keep doing things the slow, outdated way? Or are you going to leverage this technology to lap your competitors? The choice is yours. Follow us for more tips and guide.